Esil, Rowland and Soundbooth Theater present Pangea Online, Book 1, Death and Axes. Written by Esil Rowland. Narrated by Justin Thomas James. Featuring Laurie Catherine Winkel as Alicia and the rest of the female cast. Chapter 1. My life sucks. I live in a place called The Boxes, which is a city of small metal living quarters stacked God only knows how high atop other metal boxes. A small window allows me to look out into the world. There's not much to look at, really. I watch the drones as they fly by, delivering food that will be dropped, sterilized, and then transported in an airtight chute to others, just like me living in their own boxes. Across the alley, hundreds of other boxes litter the landscape, but that's about it. I don't know how many of us live here. The Boxes used to be a large city called Atlanta. That was back before a nuclear war wiped out a portion of the population and forced those who had survived to live locked away from the toxins and radiations it left behind. I hear there are parts of the country where people can still go outside without masks. This isn't one of them. I haven't been outside in close to a year. Not since I turned 18 and moved from the orphanage to my very own box. Once I graduated, the orphanage couldn't house me anymore and sent me out on my own. They don't receive funding for me after I turn 18, so I don't really blame them. Mouths are hard to feed. It's been so long since I've been outside that I've forgotten what fresh air smells like. My box smells like sweat and staleness. The sad thing is, I don't even know what anything smells like in the game. You see, I'm a data miner. Now that I've graduated from my basic studies, I've been working 8 hours a day, swinging a pickaxe in the game, watching trails of data spring from the rocks and drift past me into the air. Data mining is a good profession for someone like me. It at least pays the bills and gives me something to do. The mines I work in are designed after coal mines. Coal hasn't been used in centuries, but I guess the designers thought they were being cute. They love being cute. I've never actually been able to explore what the game truly has to offer. It takes money to do that. I can't afford even the most basic Worldpass, so the only places I go to are the mines and my home portal, a virtual home which is basically just as drab and boring as my box. But I do have free access to the web, and am able to read about what others do in the game. I love watching streams of people as they go into the fantasy worlds and level up their avatars. There's something about the hero's journey that just resonates with me. Maybe it's because I'll never be one. In a fantasy world, I'd be the farmer tending his garden, not the brave warrior riding off to fight monsters and save the princess. Data mining doesn't pay very well. It gets me 3 meals a day and this small metal box. That's about it. Oh, and I have my haptic suit. The designers send everyone a basic version the day they graduate. It's nothing fancy, but it gives me the in-game experience as if I was actually there. There are sensors so detailed that I can actually feel the handle of a pickaxe while I'm working in the mines. The headset I wear has better clarity than reality. Everything feels real, minus pain. They don't let you feel pain. Instead, your vision goes red around the edges, making it hard to see, and your stamina drops, so it's harder for a player to move. I've never died in the game, but they say that everything goes black, and you have a chance to lose your items. The light flickers overhead, telling me it's time to power up my room. A stationary bicycle sits in the corner with a few wires that connect to a plug in the wall. I ride the bike for 2 hours a day, and it powers my room for 24 hours. Most of us in the boxes don't have enough money to pay for power. I guess those in charge of the game realized this, so they started installing self-sustaining power sources in each box. They'd never let my power go completely out. That would kill me. There is a grid that keeps the air purifier working, but for anything else, I have to power it myself. They do provide free internet, though. They make so much money from the game that they can afford to give it out for free. It makes people think they owe something to the game designers, and therefore, when they have extra money, it all goes back into the game. The game is called Pangea Online, named after the supercontinent that existed before it all broke apart and gave us the world as we know it. I think it was their vision of bringing the world together under one game that sprouted the name. Before Pangea came along, everything people wanted to do on the web was segmented in different places. Now, it's all together. And it's all interactive. Over 90% of the world's population spends time in Pangea Online. For those of us in the boxes, Pangea is life. Unless you're the uber rich, most people no longer buy things for the real world. They spend their money on nice homes, clothes, and skills, all in the game, all virtual reality. None of it is real, and still, I have nothing. They say that if you think you're crazy, then you're not really crazy. I wish that worked with being poor. After charging up my room for the day, I strapped myself into my haptic suit. I split my charging into 2 sessions, one before work and one after. It's less boring that way. The suit fits snugly around my body, capable of dispatching pressure at any moment so that I feel whatever is happening to my body in Pangea. There's a slight discomfort as the suit calibrates to my body. The suit can even warm and cool as I walk through different climates. Not that everything in the mines isn't hotter than the bowels of hell. I put on my VR headset, and it takes up the entirety of my vision, allowing me to experience the game as if I were really there. The only senses I can't experience are taste and smell. Considering where I work, I count it as a blessing. There is nothing worse than a hot fart in an enclosed space. I've experienced enough of those in my box. I press my fingertips together, and the blackness of my headset morphs into a 3-dimensional world. The words, "Welcome to Pangea Online," appear over a blue swirling portal. If I were rich, I might see hundreds of portals in front of me. But since I'm not, there is only the mines. I jump through the portal and dozens of worlds spin by me, offering glimpses of what else Pangea has to offer. Too bad I'll never see any of it. The entrance to the mines greets me when the spinning stops. Tiny icons dot the edge of my vision, detailing my health, stats, items, messages, and a translucent map of my surroundings. There are hundreds of mines. I can see my destination as a flickering orange dot on the map. My inventory is scarce. All I have are my pick and my hard hat. I've always wondered what it'd be like to hold a sword or cast magic, but I doubt that'll ever happen. I focus on the pickaxe, and it suddenly appears in my hand. I check the stats on it. Item, basic pickaxe, +2 attack. A pickaxe is a miner's best friend. I check my avatar's stats while I march to the mine I'm scheduled to work in for the day. My class is miner, and the only ability I've learned is mining. My stamina has recovered overnight, and I'll be ready to start swinging the pickaxe soon enough. The thing about Pangea Online being a worldwide game is that all of the users are bound by the same constraints. Sure, money can buy you items to help your avatar seem more powerful than they actually are, but everyone is bound by 2 solid principles: stats and experience. Even mining grants experience. As you level up, each level grants a certain number of stat points to be allocated towards various attributes. There is strength, agility, vitality, intellect, dexterity, and stamina. Over the past year of mining, I've put all the stat points I've accumulated into strength. My avatar is far stronger than I could ever hope to be, but it allows me to gain more experience with each swing. More or less, my character is modeled after me. Dark hair, pale features, and tall. The only difference being that I'm thin and lean like a cyclist, while my character is ripped like a Greek god from swinging an axe all day long. My message icon blinks at me. I focus on the message, and my inbox pops into view. It's a translucent gray, and I can still see the world as I walk. The message is from Buzz. He works in the mines with me and is my best friend. His message reads, "Yo, Esil! Did you hear about the new tournament happening all over Pangea? 100,000 gold to the winner. I wish I could compete, but work. See you in the mine. Buzz." Buzz loves watching people play games during his time away from the mines. It's practically all he does. He's never competed a day in his life, though. In fact, he's just as poor as me. He always talks about how good he could be if he took time off from work. He lives with his mom in a box not much bigger than mine. I only know because he let it slip one day that his mother had been sick. I haven't told him much about myself. growing up in an orphanage is something I prefer not to talk about. I send him a quick message that I haven't heard about the tournament and I can't wait to hear more. The game automatically translates my voice to text and sends it to Buzz. He's waiting for me at the entrance to Mine 124. His avatar is not as big as mine. For whatever reason, Buzz elected to put all his stat points into intellect. In the rest of Pangea, it might be useful. He could equip magic items and cast spells, but there's no benefit to it here. Because of his buffoonery, Buzz is still level 2 after a year. On the other hand, with the additional experience my strength has garnered me, I am level 4. He wears a stained white t-shirt and jeans, the same as me, starter rags for the mines. In one hand, he holds his pickaxe, in the other, his yellow helmet with a light attached to the front. A huge smile beams across his face. "Another day in paradise," he jokes. We walk into the mine, and immediately I feel warmer. Green 1s and 0s flutter past me as they exit the tunnel. Data. Someone has already started working. The mine is dimly lit by dangling light bulbs with glowing filament. A single pair of train tracks lead us down the cavern. Walls as black as night surround us on all sides. This place would be hell for someone afraid of enclosed spaces. At the end of the tunnel, Grayson, one of the longest-tenured mine workers, is already sweating as he swings his axe. He enters in the morning with a gray beard, and by the end of his shift, he looks 20 years younger. No one knows how long he's been working in the mines, but everyone I've met says the same thing. He was here when they started. "About time you boys showed up," he says, his voice as gruff as the cavern, but there is a twinkle in his eye. When I focus on Grayson, his stats pop up to the side of my vision. He is level 45, practically unheard of in the mines. Over the years, he must have been able to save some gold because he has a diamond-tipped pickaxe. What I would do for one of those. "Good to see you, Grayson," I say. "How was your night?" "It was good. I spent the evening on a beach listening to mermaids sing," he says between swinging the pick. Grayson is the only miner I know who has a pass to go to other worlds. I wonder, if I work hard enough, will I be able to buy one someday? "Why would you go to a beach when you could go into a game world?" asks Buzz. He and I both begin working. Each swing of my pick sends bright green data fluttering through the air. It flows down the cavern, casting an eerie glow in the darkness. I have no idea what kind of data we're mining or where it goes. All I know is that this is my life. My dull, monotonous life. Buzz keeps talking. "So, Esil, the tournament. How'd you not read about it? It's the largest payout in game history. 100,000 gold." He enunciates every word for effect. I guess I missed it. Truth be told, I had spent the previous evening watching a stream following an elven princess and her band of dwarven followers as they traveled through a mountainous pass overtaken by orcs. It had been an exciting 3 hours before I fell asleep. I much prefer watching people quest and explore in the game worlds. I guess because in my own life everything is planned out and routine, I like the freedom and adventure that RPGs bring. Buzz loves PvP games, where it's player versus player. I think those are boring. It's the same goal every time. "I thought it would have been your kind of thing. It's a quest this time. They say it'll be 3 stages, testing the most well-rounded players in Pangea. No max-level players allowed. They haven't announced all the details yet, but I hear it's taking place all over Pangea. There's all kinds of speculation on what the quests will be, but no one really knows. It's gonna be epic. If I wasn't working, just think what we could do with that money. We'd be set for life." "Pipe dreams," says Grayson. He wipes sweat from his brow and leaves a black streak on his forehead. "You're such a downer," says Buzz. "I'm a realist." This coming from a man who listens to mermaids singing on a beach in his free time, I say, and they both laugh. The day passes slowly, but Buzz fills us in on all the speculation of the upcoming tournament. I almost feel sorry for him, but then I realize that it gives him hope. The mines would be a terrible place for him if he didn't have hope of someday leaving them. When a small ding alerts me that our shift is over, I notice my XP bar is only a few points away from hitting level 5. I've heard that at level 5, you gain a few extra item slots in your inventory. Not that it would help me much with my 2 items, but it'd be cool nonetheless. I would love to be able to allocate my points before the next shift. So I tell Buzz to go ahead and that I'll catch up with him later tonight after I power up my room. 3 XP stand between me and leveling up, so I swing faster. My stamina bar shrinks with each hit, but I'll have the whole night to recharge, so I keep pushing. Data trails past me in a stream. I'm focused. The only thing that matters is hearing the chime telling me I've leveled up. I'm 1 XP away when my stamina drops to 0. My swings move slower than they ever have. My arms feel heavy with each movement, and I know my haptic suit is making me feel fatigued. With great effort, I take one final swing and watch my experience bar fill completely before resetting to 0. A loud chime rings in my ear, and a bright silver 5 sweeps across my vision. My inbox fills with notifications. I'll check them later when I get home. The last bit of data streams out of the tunnel, and I'm left in the dimly lit cavern once more. Out of the edge of my vision, I see something shiny where I had just been digging. A small handle protrudes from beneath the coal. I give it a hard pull, but it's lodged in place. I begin swinging the pick again, and the green glow returns as data flies past. Piece by piece, I uncover what is hidden beneath the coal. As I expose more and more, I realize it's a chest. Each swing becomes harder. In my year in the mines, I've never heard of someone finding an item while digging. I can feel my heart racing in anticipation of what could be inside. I give the chest another tug, and it comes free. The chest is heavy. For a moment, I imagine gold beyond my wildest dreams inside. I place it on the floor of the tunnel. There are runes carved on the top of it in a language I can't read. I look behind me, making certain no one's watching. Then I flip the latch and open the lid. Chapter 2. A bright glow surrounds the chest and fills the cavern. It hurts my eyes as I stare into the chest, trying to make out what's inside. A piece of parchment rises from the chest and hovers in the air before me. It reads, "Congratulations, Esil! You have found a hidden chest. Make the most of its offerings, and as always, never stop leveling. Pangea Online developers." I have heard of the highly sought-after developers' chests, but never in a million years would I have thought I would find one in the mines. Most people find them at the bottom of an incredibly hard dungeon or at the end of a long quest. I turn around and make sure no one's behind me. If living in the orphanage has taught me anything, it's to never trust anyone if you have something they want. The glow of the chest fades, and I can make out a few items inside. I quickly touch them, and they all fly into my inventory. I nearly faint as I look through each item. Item: Worldpass Premium, Soulbound, cannot be traded or discarded. Allows user to travel to any world free of charge. Holy shit! The Worldpass is a game changer. Item: Dwarven Boots of Stamina, Soulbound, cannot be traded or discarded. These ancient dwarven boots recharge 2% stamina every 5 seconds. Even Grayson will be jealous of my new boots. The impact they can have on my work output will be astronomical. Currency: 1,000 gold. My jaw drops wide open. This can't be real. Pangea Online is so popular that in-game gold is the most stable currency in the world. 1,000 gold is more money than I've made this entire year. We're paid in silver, and it takes 10 silver to equal 1 gold. That amount of gold can literally change my life. What will I even do with so much gold? The gold, combined with my new World Pass, means I can actually explore Pangea with my avatar instead of living vicariously through other players. Buzz is going to lose it when I tell him. I stare at the items in my inventory. My head spins with possibilities of where I should go. The stream of the Elven Princess comes to mind. I equip my new boots and immediately feel like I could work for hours. They gleam even in the dull light of the tunnel. The silver thread is beautiful, and I worry that the coal will dirty them, but As I walk, they miraculously stay clean. I send Buzz a quick message on my way to the portal. Buzz, you're never going to guess what just happened to me. We need to video chat ASAP. Esil. I desperately want to explore Pangea, but my room is low on power. I've already stayed longer than I should have. Nothing would be worse than traveling to an exciting new destination and having my entire system power off. No. First, I'll go home and charge my room. Then I'll plan my next move. I step into the portal that takes me home. Normally, I go straight through and arrive at my home portal, where I log out of the game. This time, I'm greeted with hundreds of different portals to choose from. Dozens of open worlds where I could become a king or a warrior, or spend my entire life devoted to singing songs to tavern wenches. There are shops and villages, each more interesting than the last. I want to see them all. Soon, I will. My home portal is a dark gray room, not too different from the box I live in. The walls and floors are bare. I've never had any extra money to spend on making it feel like home. It could use some artwork and a chair to sit in. Maybe I'll use some of my newfound gold to spruce the place up. After logging out of Pangea, I open the sliding door to the chute where my food is delivered and take it out. I've heard stories of people who eat fresh food, but in the boxes, all we can afford is processed food. It comes in a wrapper and is packed full of nutrients. It tastes like licking a dirty floor. I spend the next hour on the bike charging my box. My mind wanders, wondering where I want to go first. The premium Worldpass is something few people have. While it's true that most people are not as poor as those of us who work in the mines, most people still have to pay to travel. Certain worlds can be very expensive. Unlimited portals free of charge means I can go to a dozen worlds in one day. I can see all of Pangea. Once I'm finished biking, I take a quick shower. The water is cold, but at least it's clean. I towel off and strap into my haptic suit. As soon as I'm online, my message icon blinks. I expect it to be Buzz, but it's the notifications from leveling up. I quickly scroll through them. Congratulations on reaching level 5. You now have a new stat point to allocate as you see fit. Congratulations on reaching level 5. Your inventory has been upgraded to carry more items. I laugh to myself at that one. I've only ever had 2 items in my entire life. A new notification pops up as soon as I close my inbox. A wide smile creeps across my face when I open it. Alicia is streaming live. Would you like to join in? Yes or no? The Elven Princess. I focus on the no icon and close my inbox again. Any other time I would be ecstatic to watch her stream, but not today. I jump through the portal and focus on the Mordican Mountains. Today, I'll be watching in person. The portal empties me into the town square. I've seen it 100 times through Alicia's feed, but it doesn't compare to actually being there. Cobbled streets stretch out in front of me. In the far distance, I see the peaks of the Mordican Mountains, with their snow-capped tops jutting above the nearby rooftops. To my left, I see an armor shop, and beside it, a black "Get out of the way, noob!" a voice rumbles. A minotaur stares down at me, covered in bright blue chainmail that contrasts with his golden fur. I jump out of the way, afraid of being trampled by his massive hoofs. He pushes his way through the crowd, and I can see his horns swaying back and forth above the sea of people. The town square bustles around me. Dozens of players walk past, their name tags hovering above their heads. They distract me from how beautiful the city is, so I focus my thoughts, and they disappear. Elves, dwarves, humans, and several other races all interact, buying and selling in the open market to my right. I even spot a gnome trying to fight his way through the crowd. It's amazing. I've only ever seen other humans in the mines. It takes gold to start a character with a race other than human. These people could be from anywhere across the globe. Pangea Online has the most state-of-the-art language translators, allowing the entire world to interact in one place.
Nice rags!
Someone yells at me as they walk past, and I'm suddenly aware that I'm wearing the same starter clothes I've had for the past year. Now that I have money, I should buy something new. Up the street, I spot the tailor. A coat of arms hangs over the door with a needle and thread on a checkered purple and white background. When I enter the shop, the tailor immediately scowls. The clothing that adorns the walls is of the highest quality, richly dyed fabrics with intricate details of leaves or vines embroidered on the sleeves and collars. Stuff I could never have afforded a day ago. A green tunic with a black axe on the collar catches my eye. "The soup kitchen is down the street," he mutters. The man has the hooked nose of a hawk and beady eyes. His hairline recedes, and what hair he does have is slicked back. I pull a few gold coins from my inventory and lay them on the counter. His lips curl into a devious smile. "I'm sorry, sir. Where have my manners gone? How can I assist you today?" For a moment, I contemplate leaving the store. In reality, no one still wearing their starter clothes would ever have the money to shop in a place like this, so I can't really blame the man. "I'll take one of those," I say, pointing to the green tunic. I find a pair of khaki pants and a nice leather belt with a silver buckle shaped like a wolf. I check out the new clothing in my inventory. Item: green tunic, plus 0 armor. Not everything is about stats, you know. Item: khaki pants, plus 0 armor. Not everything is about stats, you know. Item: silver wolf head belt, plus 0 armor. Not everything is about stats, you know. The clothing adds nothing to my stats, but I don't care. For once, I don't look like a beggar. The tailor starts to offer me a pair of boots, but then he sees the ones I'm wearing and his eyes go wide. I can sense the greed in them. He must want to ask me where I got them, but he's worried of overstepping his bounds again. "That will be 2 gold, please." I hesitate to part with the money, but eventually slide it across the counter. Exiting the tailor's shop, I already feel like less of an outsider. I want to explore the town, but there will be plenty of time for that later. I set off for the mountains, taking in the shops as I go. What I'm truly excited about is leaving the town and exploring the countryside on my way to find the princess. My inbox glows, indicating I have a new message. It's from Buzz. "Esil, sorry, but it'll have to wait. Mom is sick again, and I need to make sure she's taken care of before I log back in. I'll catch up with you later. Buzz." I feel bad for Buzz. His mom has been sick for a while. When people get sick in the boxes, they don't usually get better. Maybe I can use some of my gold to help her get the medicine she needs. I'll talk to Buzz about it at work tomorrow. I push the thoughts of his sick mother to the back of my mind. 2 guards stand sentry at the entrance to the town. Their steel armor reflects my green tunic, and I can't help but admire how good I look. Such a stark contrast from the rags I'm used to. The guards, along with the tailor and most of the shop owners, are NPCs, non-playable characters that the game designers implemented for tasks no one else would want to do. They nod at me as I walk past. "You are leaving the town limits and entering a PvP zone." In town, players aren't allowed to attack each other, but out here, I'll need to watch my back. Some jerk could cut me down while I'm not looking and guard over my tombstone, making it impossible for me to retrieve my items. There are penalties for killing other players who have not agreed to engage in combat, especially those with lower levels, but just like at the orphanage, bullies exist everywhere. The landscape before me is the most beautiful I have ever seen. Lush fields and clear blue skies abound for miles. I take off running. My stamina bar drops slightly and replenishes with each step. With my new boots, I could no doubt run for hours. A small dot on my map tells me an enemy is nearby. My first battle. Adrenaline pumps through my veins as I search for my opponent. I spot the bird-like creature crouched below a giant oak tree. When I focus on it, its stats appear to the side of my vision. Lesser Harpy, level 3. Its bark is just as bad as its bite. I'm level 5, so I should have no problem taking it out. I've seen harpies before on the streams, but seeing one in person is an awesome feeling. The creature is half bird, half human, with the body of a woman but the legs of a bird. Sharp talons curl menacingly where fingers and toes should be. Wings sprout from its back, allowing it to hover slightly off the ground. It watches me warily as I approach. It lets out a raucous crow and digs its claws into the dirt, ready for battle. Feathers ruffle, and then it attacks. The harpy jumps into the air towards me, feet first. Its talons extend, ready to rip my body to shreds. I duck and roll to the right, and it lands in the grass with a thud. I equip my pickaxe from my inventory. The harpy jumps at me again, and I swing my pick. It digs straight into the ground, and a small stream of green numbers sprout from the earth. Why did I just use mine in the middle of a battle? Claws connect with my chest, and my vision goes red from the talons ripping through my flesh. My health bar shrinks by half. I try to swing for the harpy again and again. My pick digs into the earth. Green numbers flutter past my ear. My stupidity dawns on me. Mine is the only ability I know. Red fades from my vision just as the harpy attacks again. Its claws dig into my arm and blood stains the grass beneath me. My vision begins to darken at the edges. The harpy lunges for me once more, and everything goes black. Chapter 3. The blackness slowly clears from my vision, and I'm back in the town square. My health has returned, and my clothes are new and shiny again. I check my inventory. Everything is there except for my pickaxe and a tenth of my gold. A message flashes across my vision. You have died. You now have 1 hour to retrieve your belongings before they become public property. When you die in the game, there is a chance that any item not soulbound will be left behind. I need to get my pickaxe before the timer expires. I'll need it for work tomorrow. I could just buy a new one, but I'd rather spend my gold on other things. I still can't believe I went into a battle with no abilities. Most players go through a tutorial when they log into Pangea for the first time. When they choose their class, they practice the ability and learn a few basic attacks. Not in the mines. We just learned to swing the pick. That harpy, even though it was only level 3, shredded me to pieces. I'll need to invest in armor at some point. That's the downside of putting all my stats into strength. Which reminds me, I never sorted my stats from hitting level 5. I open my stat page. Currently, I have 14 points to put into strength. Each avatar is given 11 points to start with and are awarded 1 stat point per level. Stats. Strength, 14. Strength determines how hard I hit and the max weight I'm able to carry. Agility, 0. Agility determines how fast I can move. It also has an effect on my dodge chance. Vitality, 0. Vitality determines my total health points and HP regeneration. Intellect, 0. Intellect determines how powerful my spells are, my mana points, and mana regeneration. Dexterity, 0. Dexterity determines my hit chance and how long it takes to cast a spell. Stamina, 0. Stamina determines how much energy I have available. My first reaction is to put my new point into strength and go all out. Now that I have the Worldpass, though, I want my character to be more balanced. I have no need for stamina at the moment with my new boots. I may want to invest a few points in it down the road, though. Intellect would be useful if I learned some spells, and would be handy in the long run if I want to carry powerful magic items. Agility would complement my strength nicely. The battle with the harpy reruns through my mind, and I decided to spend my point on vitality for increased health. I'd rather not die again. Down the street, I see a building with a sword and shield over the entrance. That's where I need to go. Inside, 2 men fight in a ring with wooden swords. A variety of swords and shields line the walls. There are spears with intricate carvings and colored tips, bows and arrows with brightly colored fletchings, daggers. This place appears to have all manner of physical weapons. Another man stands behind the counter. He watches me from behind a fiery red beard. When I focus on him, I learn his name is Raybert. His gray name tag tells me he's an NPC shop owner. "How may we assist you?" he asks. I was hoping to learn some combat abilities. He interlocks his fingers together and gives me a wink. "Well, you've come to the right place. Loxton there is the best weapons trainer in town. What's your weapon of choice?" The pickaxe is a great tool, but not a weapon. I need something that requires less precision, but'll still feel natural in my hands. I catch a glimpse of myself in the reflection of a nearby sword. The little black axe embroidered on my collar answers the question for me. "An axe," I say. He steps out from behind the counter, and I notice he's wearing a green and yellow kilt. His legs are the size of tree trunks. I would not want to meet him on the field of battle. He leads me, past the ring where the two men continue to fight, to a wall adorned with an array of axes. A double-edged battle axe catches my eye. It's made of a dark black metal. The blade shimmers. I know that's the one I want before I look at the others. I want that one.
You have quite the taste. That'll set you back 5 gold.
I gulp at the thought. That's almost half a year's wages on an axe. I have an idea. 5 gold. Throw in some free training, and you've got a deal. His eyes cut at me for a moment as he thinks over what I've said. I don't know if NPCs are allowed to haggle, but I give it a try anyways.
Deal!
He extends his hand, and we grasp each other by the forearm, cementing our agreement. Congratulations! You have learnt the skill barter. May prices ever fall in your favor. I place the gold in his hand, and the axe appears in my inventory. It is beautiful. Item: Meteoric Iron Axe. Plus 10 strength, 10% armor penetration. This double-edged axe was forged from the heart of a meteorite. When I take the axe in my hand, it feels natural, like I've held it my whole life. It reminds me of my pickaxe, the way it fits in my hand. I can't wait to take it to battle. That harpy won't know what hit it.
If you wait until Loxton's finished, he'll teach you your ability.
I take a seat by the ring and watch as Loxton spars with a young man. The young man can't be much older than me. He's fast, but Loxton is faster. His swings blur through the air, making contact before the man has a chance to raise his sword in defense. I definitely came to the right place. When their training is over, Loxton approaches me. "Ready to fight?" he asks. I nod my assent, and we step into the ring. "I'm going to teach you 3 abilities. 2 are basic, and 1 is special. These will more than help you on your journey." Loxton grabs me by the shoulder, and I feel an energy flow through me. "Congratulations! You have learned the basic ability, Attack. Knock 'em to the ground." "Congratulations! You have learned the basic ability, Defend. Try not to fall on your ass." "Congratulations! You have learned the ability, Lunging Strike. Effect: stuns opponents for 0.5 seconds. Cost: 50 mana. Cooldown: 10 seconds. They can't hit when they can't move." We spend the next few minutes sparring with wooden weapons. There's no learning curve to my new abilities. Once I've learned them, they flow through my body with ease. Loxton presses the attack, and I parry each blow with my axe, using its head as a shield. His blade lodges in the hook of the axe, and I thrust, sending Loxton in retreat. I press onward, regaining lost ground. Time to test out Lunging Strike. I jump, axe raised, and come down in front of Loxton. The force of the impact immobilizes him. I attack. Even with my wooden axe, his health bar depletes by a quarter. When he raises to his feet, there's a look of surprise on his face. "How do you hit so hard for one so weak?" he asks. I'm baffled by his question. I'm sorry? What do you mean?" "Your level is weak, but there is a great strength within you." He pats me on the shoulder. "We're done for the day. Come back and see me when you're in need of more training." I can't shake Loxton's words once I leave his shop. What did he mean that I hit so hard to be so weak? I can worry about that later. First, I have a harpy to kill. When I find my way back to the harpy, a tiny gravestone marks where I died. The harpy sits atop the grave marker, smirking, as if goading me to attack. I fully intend to wipe the smirk off its face. I run full speed at the harpy, and it hops off the tombstone, letting out another shrill call. It hurts my ears, but I press on. I use Lunging Strike, coming down in front of the harpy and stunning it. One swing of the axe lops off its head. The bird-like body stumbles back and forth before falling to the ground. That was far easier than I'd expected. I pick up the loot from the harpy along with my pickaxe. Item: Rusted chestplate, plus 1 armor. It's better than Swiss cheese. Item: Dirty boot. Some things in life aren't worth having. Currency: 8 copper. I equip the rusted chestplate because it's better than nothing and toss the boot. The 8 copper doesn't amount to much, but I add it to my inventory nonetheless. It takes 10 copper to equal 1 silver, and 10 silver to equal 1 gold. The Mordican Mountains stare at me from the distance. It'll take me at least a few hours to journey there. I'll make the most of it and farm for experience along the way. Up ahead, I see a black bear walking through a clearing. Black bear, level 4. These normally docile creatures have a powerful bite. The black bear looks calm as it walks through the clearing, and I almost decide to leave it be. The name of the game is leveling up, though, so I use Lunging Strike and momentarily stun him. The ability wipes out my mana. A quick attack drops 3/4 of his health. The bear is tankier than the harpy and stronger, too. He swipes at me with his powerful paws, and I lose half my health. My vision goes red, making it hard for me to focus on my attacker. I finally gather myself, and it only takes another strike from my axe to send his health to 0. He drops 15 copper and no items, but my experience bar takes another jump. I make short work of 2 black bears, a harpy, and a large brown bear over the next hour before gaining another level. I put my stat point into intellect. Lunging Strike is my best ability, but the mana usage limits its use to a max of 2 times per battle with my current mana pool. More points in intellect should help with that. If I attack first, the half-second stun essentially allows me 2 attacks before I have to worry about taking damage. After my latest battle with the large brown bear, my health is down to 25%. I take a seat by an old oak tree and wait for my HP to recover. Checking through my messages, I find the link to Alicia's stream. A small feed pops up in the top left corner of my vision where she and her merry band of dwarves engage in a tumultuous fight with a group of orc raiders. The dwarves, though they're short in stature, fight valiantly against their orc foes. They swing their axes and hammers in violent harmony. One dwarf stands near the rear, casting spells that rip the earth apart. The princess stands behind them, firing imbued arrows that explode upon impact. Orcs burst into flame, while others stand frozen, overtaken by icy tendrils that crawl across their bodies like vines. She has a variety of magical arrows. A particularly devastating arrow launches from her bow and erupts into a volley of lightning bolts that zig and zag from one orc to another. I close the feed and look at my map. I'm still a long ways off from her current location. A golden warrior gallops past on a horse as black as coal. I should really consider investing in a mount of some kind, though I doubt I could afford one even now. Mounts are expensive and hard to come by, but would shorten my travel time immensely. By the time I reach the foot of the mountains, I'm level 8. I invested my 2 new stat points into vitality and intellect, and my avatar feels more balanced already. My inventory looks less and less like an empty closet as well. I now have plenty of rusted armor to sell when I return, along with a hefty supply of copper. The large brown bear even dropped a silver. I can't wait to see the kind of loot I'll be getting at higher levels. A small hut sits near the entry to the mountain path. A gnome appears at me from behind a counter.
"Hello, traveler," he greets me. "Would you like to bind your soul here to reawaken upon death? Yes or no?"
I think about it for a moment. It seems smart. If I die, then I won't have as far to go to retrieve any supplies I leave behind. I have a question first. Is there a way I can get back to the town square without having to walk? The only downside to being bound to a location so far away is that I'm hours away from my home portal.
I can teach you to teleport. If you look in the bottom corner near your map, you'll see a purple icon. Focus on that for 1 second, and you can teleport back to your entry point of any world you are in. If you are attacked or lose focus, it will cancel the teleport.
I do as he says and focus on the icon. My body starts to dissipate in front of me. I switch my focus back to the gnome, and it stops. Congratulations! You have learned the skill, Teleport. Now that's a heck of a skill. I wonder if I'll be able to use it in the mines at the end of a long day. I bind myself to the hut and continue up the mountain. The princess and her group are close enough that I can see her icon on my map. The creatures I pass are above my level, so I try to avoid them. My only goal right now is to see the princess in person. A level 16 mountain troll guards a nearby cave. I run past him, and as soon as I do, he begins to aggro me. Once I'm out of his attack radius, he turns and walks back to his cave. The sound of metal clashing against metal and the roar of magics exploding echoes through the mountains, drawing me in. I know that I have no business involving myself in a fight with orcs 2 or 3 times my level, but I really want to impress the princess. I've watched her streams for so long that I feel like I know her. I don't think for a moment that she might not know me. I reach the crest of the mountain and see the battle raging on the other side. I toggle on everyone's stat bars. They're all wounded. Alesia's health is halfway depleted, her silver armor dented in places. Specks of blood taint her blonde hair. She attacks with an elven blade that catches the light with each strike. She moves with a grace I've never seen anyone else take in battle. I count 8 dwarves among her group. 2 of them are female, judging by the lack of facial hair, but that is really the only thing that distinguishes them. Many of the dwarves' health dwindle in the yellow or orange. One is in the red. Several orc bodies lay across the mountain pass. Many more have their health hovering in the red. It looks like the princess's company will win the day. A loud roar echoes from behind me and everyone falls silent. The battle stops for a moment and all eyes turn toward the sound. Towards me. The rumbling of giant footsteps causes rubble to tumble down the mountain, and I'm afraid of what is about to appear. Alesia's eyes meet with mine for a moment. What's left of the orc forces abandon the fight and scatter down the mountain pass. All the while, the ground shakes more and more from whatever creature approaches. I turn my back to the dwarves and princess, readying myself for what comes next. I receive a notification telling me I have a new message. You have been invited to join Alesia's party. Do you accept? Yes or no? I don't think twice before accepting. As soon as I join, I'm able to hear their private chat.
What the hell is coming?
Asks one of the lady dwarves.
Calm down. There is nothing that we cannot overcome together.
The voice is Alesia's. I'd recognize that voice anywhere. It sounds like music, and I let it wash over me.
Welcome to our party, Esil. I hope you're ready for a fight. Though if I'm honest, you're a little out of your league here.
I was born ready, I say. It sounds a lot cooler in my head than when I actually say it.
For the princess!
One of the dwarves shouts. His long red beard is braided, and he carries a warhammer engraved with a writing I assume is dwarvish. He spins it in his hands, and it begins to glow. Everyone around me begins to cast spells and imbue their weapons with whatever magic they have. All I have is Lunging Strike, but I'm full on mana, so I wait. A large, knotty head appears first. Giant, wide-set, angry eyes stare past me as it lumbers in our direction. I don't know how I made it past this creature on the way here, but I'm thankful I didn't meet him on my own. I focus on his stats and feel my stomach turn. Mountain Troll, level 60. Tough skin and a minuscule intellect make these creatures tough to stop. His gait is lumbering. Both arms drag low across the ground. One hand holds a large club bigger than my body. Drool drips down his chin and across his protruding belly. I look at the group I'm now a part of. Alesia is the strongest, a level 53 archer. Most of the dwarves are in the 40s, all warriors except for the one battle mage. And then me. A level 8 miner. Normally, I think they could take it, but their HP is so low that the troll could take many of them out with a single hit. A flaming arrow darts past me and explodes against the troll's chest. He lets out a deep grunt of disapproval, but is otherwise unaffected. The dwarf with the warhammer charges. His hammer connects with an explosion of light, and the troll stumbles to the right. When it regains its footing, the troll takes a hard stomp towards the dwarf, stunning him. I have to protect him. I'm a part of the group, after all. I run towards the troll and use Lunging Strike. My ability has no effect, and now I'm in his attack range. The only option I have is to attack. I slice at him with a large strike, and his health drops by a large sliver. I did more damage than the dwarf.
How did you do that?
Asks the princess, but before I can respond, I hear the crunch of bones beside me as the troll stomps the dwarf. I'm transfixed on the savagery when the troll swings his club, and my vision goes black. Chapter 4. I respawn at the base of the mountain. The dwarf I witnessed being pounded to a pulp must have been bound somewhere else because he's not with me. The gnome greets me with a hearty, "Hello, traveler," not knowing I just had my brain smashed in. I'm no longer in the group chat. Dying must have kicked me out. But I can still see Alicia's icon on my map, along with a few other dwarves. Even though I know I'll probably just die again, and it's time for me to go home and get some sleep for the night, something pulls me back up the mountain. I check my inventory on the way. My battle axe is gone. Aside from my Worldpass and my boots, the battle axe is my most prized possession. I can't leave without it. I've also lost just about every other item I've earned over the course of the day, including my pickaxe. Again. The only weapon I have is a rusty spear. It'll have to do until I can find my grave. Up the mountain I run, my boots replenishing my stamina with each step. The small mountain troll comes after me as I pass by again, and I almost laugh at its comparison to the one I just faced. The fact that I went after a level 60 mountain troll without a second thought was sheer stupidity. The smaller troll eventually turns around. The sound of exploding arrows echoes the closer I get to the top. By the time I arrive, the troll is down to 15% health. Only Alicia and 2 dwarves remain. All of their HP bars dwindle in the red. A new notification dings. It's probably Alicia inviting me back to her group, but I don't check it. My grave is only a few yards away, right underneath the troll. Blood has formed small puddles beneath its giant body. He's low on health, but still extremely dangerous. If I can get to my grave, I might have a chance of helping them defeat it. I take off, running for the troll. Halfway there, I launch the spear and it bounces off his rock-hard head. It's enough to lower his health another sliver and to divert his attention. When the troll turns to see the source of the irritation, I slide between his legs. I pick up my items and equip my axe, backing out of the troll's reach. The 2 dwarves give me a nod for my bravery and stand by my side. The princess stands behind us, an arrow notched in her bow. I quickly open my messages and join their party.
Thanks for coming back,
she says. Glad to be back. Now let's finish this. I thrust my axe into the air and the 2 dwarves do the same. It feels good to be part of something. Does anyone have any spells that can stun?
We all do, but trolls are naturally resistant to slows and stuns,
says the dwarf to my right. She holds a small warhammer in each hand. I wish I'd known that the last time when I used lunging strike.
We'll have to beat it the old-fashioned way. I'll fire a volley of arrows as fast as I can and try to blind him. I need you 3 to finish him off. Do you think you can handle it?
Somehow I feel the question is directed at me. We can do it, I say. Apparently, the troll has had enough and is ready to end the fight as much as we are. It charges towards us. The 2 dwarves counter and I follow behind them. They each swing hard and take out a tiny sliver of health. A swing from my axe and another chunk of health disappears. I don't know how I hit so hard, especially against something so far out of my level, but I don't question it. I jump to the right, dodging the troll's swing, and the club rips apart the earth next to me. I attack again, slashing my axe against its massive thigh. The troll's health is down so low that a few more hits would kill him. I can't believe I'm about to have helped take down a level 60 troll. The loot it's sure to give will be epic. I look back to the princess, and a giant hand wraps around my midsection. My vision goes red, and the crunch of bones makes my stomach turn. The troll's large, powerful hands crush me. He squeezes, and my health drops to 1 bar. I can barely breathe from the pressure around my ribs. Everything is red and black. The troll squeezes again, and I die. After the blackness clears, I'm at the base of the mountain again. The gnome greets me with the same "Hello, traveler" as before. I check my inventory. I've lost my battle axe and pickaxe again. Couldn't I have lost a rusty shield instead? I should really be getting home, but I can't leave those items. I'll just run up the mountain, grab my things, and teleport back home. As I race up the mountain, I still can't believe the adventure I was just a part of. The princess has thousands of subscribers who watch her streams at any given time. I know most of them would be jealous of what I just did. I was in her private chat. Not for long, but I was there, and it had been awesome. And when I attacked the troll the first time, the look she gave me. Everyone is gone when I reach the area where the battle took place. A few gravestones mark the dwarves who died. I wonder how far away their last bind point was that they haven't made it back. Some of the grave markers have already expired. I'm curious as to what kind of items they left behind. My curiosity is strong, but not so strong that I would betray those I fought beside. I was a part of their group, after all. Once I find my grave and equip my items, I focus on the purple icon, and my body begins to disappear in front of me. The next thing I know, I'm back in the town square, where I find my portal and go home. My notifications ding, and I see I have a new message. A smile spreads across my face when I read who the sender is.
Esil, thanks for your help with our raid today. I don't know how or why you were there when you were, but I doubt we would have won the day without you. If you are free tomorrow, I would like to meet you at the Lion's Head pub. I have a surprise for you. Elysia.
My heart threatens to beat out of my chest as I read through the message again and again. Princess Elysia herself wants to meet me for a drink. I can't believe it. I look through my other notifications for the day, and I see a blinking tab I've never noticed before. It appears to be some sort of message request folder for people I've never met. There are over 30 messages in there, all from today. I filter through a few of them to see what they say.
Dude, you have some major balls. Going against a level 60 troll at level 8? LMAO!
I guess it's pretty amusing to an outsider. At the time, though, I didn't really think it through. It was all instinct. What are you, some kind of rich prick? You have to be to afford travel to the Mordican Mountains. I bet you paid to get on the princess's stream, didn't you, asshole? I laugh out loud at this one. If he only knew. Hey man, how do you hit so hard? Please tell me your secrets. They go on like this for a while. All the messages from the viewers of the princess's stream who saw me and wanted to say hi. When I used my Worldpass to get to the Mordican Mountains, I didn't realize it was one of the hardest game worlds to get into. A lot of people seem to be impressed by my strength. I'm sure I'm not the first person to ever put all their stat points into strength from the start. I honestly don't see what's so special about it. I log out of Pangea and get ready for bed. I have a wool blanket, a small strip of padding, and a flat pillow. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it gets the job done. Before I lay down for the night, I look out of the small window to my box. Most everything is dark, aside from the small lights of the drones as they fly by. They flicker like fireflies against the darkness. I can't remember my life before I went to the orphanage, but sometimes I dream about living in a place with flowers and clear skies and a big fluffy black dog. There's always a man, too. He picks me up and tosses me in the air, and for a moment, I'm weightless. I'm not sure if the memories are real or not. As I drift off to sleep, I keep replaying the day in my mind. It's only been one day, but I feel like my life has completely changed. I wear my starter rags to the mine. I don't want to spoil the surprise before I have a chance to tell my story. Buzz is going to be pumped. Maybe even Grayson, too. When I make it to mine 246, where I'm assigned for the day, Grayson is already hard at work. The trail of green ones and zeros glow past me as I walk down the tunnel. I wait for Buzz, but he never shows. When the alarm buzzes, telling us it's time to work, I send him a quick message to ask if everything's okay. Quietly, I equip my dwarven boots and get to work. I feel like I could swing my pickaxe for forever as my stamina constantly replenishes. Grayson and I work alone in silence for the first few hours. The only sounds we hear are the impact of our picks against the digital coal and the heavy breathing that goes along with manual labor. My body moves mechanically, rhythmically swinging the pick, and I lose myself in my thoughts. In just a few hours, I'll be meeting up with the princess for a drink and a special surprise. What could it be? Maybe she's decided to give me some of the loot from defeating the mountain troll. Hey, Grayson, I have some burning questions I hope he can answer for me.
What's up, kid?
He takes a break from mining for a moment and leans on the end of his pickaxe. His gray beard is coated in soot. Have you ever heard of miners finding things in the mines? He raises an eyebrow at me.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. Treasure, items, things like that. I can feel his eyes boring into me, searching for why I'm asking.
What's prompted your curiosity?
He knows something's up. Maybe I should just go ahead and tell him. I elect not to. I promised myself Buzz would be the first to know. Just wondering.
Well, every now and then something pops up. Usually it's a piece of clothing, armor, maybe a weapon. But every few years, something good shows up.
Is that how you got your Worldpass? The question pops out before I have a chance to stop it. Could it be that Grayson got his Worldpass and a diamond pickaxe from a treasure just like me?
What did you find, Esil?
He stares at me, and he knows I've found something. Grayson is a smart man. If he found a chest too, then he never told anyone about it. I'd rather not say. I expect him to probe me, to try and get to the bottom of my questioning.
That's smart. Play your cards close, but let's say you did find something valuable. Maybe even a little gold. I know you didn't buy those boots off a miner's wages. Be smart about it. Don't go blabbing your mouth about whatever you found. There are so many people who will take, and never give anything back. Many of them because they don't know better, some because they want to ride their way up hanging on your bootstraps. There's nothing worse than a man who has the means to improve his life for the long term and instead splurges on the now. I'm shocked. Grayson has given me a lot to think about. I'm almost certain he found a chest too. I wonder what happened to make him so wary. Did he blow a chunk of gold that could have set him up for life? Does he have the Worldpass premium like me? I want to ask him a lot more, but the buzzer rings, signaling it's time to go home. Grayson is out of the tunnel before I have a chance to catch up with him. There will be plenty of time to talk tomorrow. For now, I need to get home. I have a date. Chapter 5. The town square of the Mordican Mountains bustles around me just as it had the day before. I spot a few familiar faces on my way to the Lion's Head pub. The Golden Minotaur has set up shop at the trading post with several weapons he no doubt won in battle. I feel a little nervous at the prospect of a few minutes alone with the princess. Yesterday I kept my cool remarkably well, but that was mostly due to the intensity of fighting a level 60 mountain troll. Today will be different. I will be forced to hold my own in a conversation, something I'm not all that great at. The dwarves surround the entrance to the pub, barring entry to several people before me. Above the entrance, a bright yellow lion head is carved into the wood. Its mane is a dark red, and it almost seems to jump out onto the cobbled streets below. I wave at the dwarves as I approach. When the dwarves spot me, Orden, the one with the braided red beard and massive warhammer, raises his weapon, calling me in his direction. He clasps his hand around my forearm, and I return the gesture. Good to see you again, Esil.
His voice is low and gravelly.
We owe you a great debt for your help yesterday. If you ever need anything, we'll see that the debt is repaid.
Several of the other dwarves nod in agreement. The female with the twin warhammers winks at me. Orden steps to the side and gestures for me to enter.
The princess is waiting.
I walk into the pub. It's almost completely empty but for the princess sitting at a table in the back and a bartender behind the bar obsessively polishing a glass. I wonder what could be so important that the dwarves aren't letting anyone in. The princess stands to greet me, and I'm momentarily taken aback by her beauty. For once, she isn't dressed for battle, but wears a shimmering green dress with lacy sleeves. A long necklace dangles across her chest. An intricately designed leaf pendant with a bright green emerald attached seems to radiate its own light. Her pointed ears peek through her long blonde hair. Princess. I bow slightly.
I actually prefer being called Elysia. Please, have a seat.
I take a seat on the large wooden booth. The Lion's Head pub is one of the most revered pubs in the Mordican Mountains. Many streamers come here to celebrate after a great victory or quest, which makes it all the more impressive that the princess has the entire place to herself. Why do they call you princess? I ask. As long as I've been following her, I've never been able to figure it out.
My dad, he owns a castle on the other side of the mountains. Someone called me a princess once, and it kind of stuck. It sounds a bit pretentious to me, don't you think?
I'm not sure if she wants me to answer, so I don't. The bartender approaches and asks for our order.
2 fire whiskeys.
She answers. He returns a moment later with 2 shots. A deep, rusty orange liquid dances in the glass. Alicia lifts her glass and we clink them together. I'm unable to taste the fiery liquid, but a notification quickly pops across my vision. Substance, fire whiskey. Buff, plus 2% attack for the next hour. Thanks. My body feels stronger as the fiery liquid pumps through my veins.
Don't mention it. I wanted to thank you for your help yesterday. Myself and Glorden were the only 2 to survive the troll. I'm certain neither of us would have had you not been there. We both received a large amount of experience and rewards. I'll have the bartender give you a couple more on your way out. They can be quite handy in a bind. I also have something else for you.
She smiles at me, and I can't for the life of me make out what that means. I think she's trying to read me. She brushes her hair behind her ear, and I wonder if the woman behind the avatar does the same thing. For the first time in over a year, I find myself questioning what the person controlling a character is like. Everyone in the mines has the same story. We're all too poor and are just trying to survive. Sometimes I forget that there are people out there who aren't like us, that the people I watch stream every night are just as real as me and Buzz. She pulls a leather pouch from her pocket and pushes it across the table.
It dropped from the troll. I thought you might like it.
Her smile curls up on one side of her lip, and my heart beats a little faster. I open the pouch, and a small ring falls out. It's a dark purple, almost black. Item, Vampiric Ring. Grants 2% lifesteal per attack. To hurt thy enemy is to heal thyself. That's amazing! Thank you! I add the ring to my inventory and equip it.
With as hard as you hit, I thought it might be useful for you. Which brings me to the real reason why I wanted to meet you. There is no way in hell you should have been able to do that kind of damage to that troll. He was so far out of your league, yet you hit him harder than any of our group. How?
Her smile disappears and is replaced by a stony expression. It was stupid of me to think she wanted anything other than information. For a moment, I feel like I'm back at the orphanage, where people only took an interest if you had something they wanted. What interest could a princess have in a lowly miner like me, outside of curiosity? I sit in silence for a moment, not knowing what to say.
What's wrong?
She asks.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
It's fine. It's stupid, really. I guess I thought you just wanted to hang out and talk. I feel even stupider saying the words out loud.
I did. I do. I just have never seen anyone so strong at your level. I was surprised is all.
I don't have any answers for you. I'm just a poor boy who works in the mines. Yesterday was the first time I've ever explored anything outside of the mines. I put all of my stat points in strength starting out, but aside from that, I don't have any answers for you.
Wait, what?
Her mouth hangs open in shock.
You're a miner? How the hell did you end up here? My dad says that the mines are for those who have no better options in life. He says that it's the developer's way of giving back to those less fortunate.
I suddenly realize she might be streaming all of this. There's no way in hell I want my personal history broadcast to all of her fans. I will not be someone else's source of amusement. Are you streaming this? I whisper, leaning in close.
No way. This is private. Why do you think we have the place to ourselves? If you had some game-changing secret, I don't want the whole world to know.
I relax a bit. Maybe she is just curious. There's no secret. I got lucky is all. There's nothing special about me.
I'm not so sure about that.
She winks, and I feel my stomach churn.
Do you have any free time today? I was hoping you might help me with something.
What is it? And, more importantly, why ask me instead of her band of dwarves?
There is this dungeon I've been wanting to check out. I was hoping you might want to join me. I could help you level up, as a favor for yesterday.
I think the ring is more than enough.
Oh, come on. Let's have a little fun.
My inbox blinks and I check the notification. Congratulations! You've received a new quest. The Princess Elysia has requested your services with clearing a local dungeon. Reward, increased alliance with elves and 50% of loot and treasure. Do you accept? Yes or no? She has a Cheshire grin on her face when I accept. The bartender hands me 2 more fire whiskeys before I leave. I add them to my inventory and turn to walk out the entrance, but the princess grabs my hand.
This way.
She leads me to a small exit in the back of the bar. A white stallion is waiting outside the door. Elysia gracefully climbs on its back. Where's mine? I ask.
Oh, come on. Just hop on.
She smirks. I'm not a prideful man, but something feels a bit off about riding on the back of a horse behind the princess. Nevertheless, I don't have any other options at the moment, so I climb on. I've never ridden a horse before, so the sensation is not something I'm accustomed to. My haptic suit does a great job mimicking the galloping, and I find my stomach churning harder and harder the farther we go. We race down the cobbled streets, the large beast parting the crowd under fear of being trampled. We pass the guards at the city gate, and the horse speeds up. Golden fields stretch for miles, and the mountains tower in the distance. I wonder where exactly this hidden dungeon might be. Just when I think I might hurl, we come to a stop at the edge of the forest. Large oak trees with sprawling branches reach out of the forest as if trying to grab at passers-by. It takes a moment, but then I realize the trees are actually moving. Small branches curl like gnarled fingers. A bird flies by and is plucked out of the air. A few feathers flutter in the air before the tree tosses the bird to the ground. What is this place? I ask.
The Guardian Forest. Most people stay away because of how dangerous the trees are, but I know a way in.
She flashes me a devilish smile. We climb off the horse, and it takes off running back towards town. Do the dwarves know you left? As long as I've been following her stream, I've never seen the princess traveling on her own.
They do. The Angel Oaks have a terrible temper around dwarves. Even with my pendant, I'd never have a chance getting inside with them around.
Elysia pulls out the pendant that had been tucked inside her dress, and it seems to glow even more than it did at the pub. She walks toward the trees, and I'm certain that she's going to be crushed by one of their massive limbs. The closer she moves, the emerald glows brighter, and the trees move less and less. She motions for me to follow. I'm hesitant to approach, but the limbs seem held at bay as I walk between them. The forest is dark once we pass the first few trees. The glow from the emerald shines a path before us. How did you find out about this place? I ask.
I've known about it for a while. I've just needed someone I could trust who wasn't a dwarf to help me get inside.
She's playing her cards close to her chest, but I can't really complain, since she is splitting all of the loot and paying me for my assistance. Even if I die, I'll get repaid if she completes the quest without me. Small creatures scurry in the depths of the forest. The canopy is so dense that barely any light shines through. Occasionally, I see the glow of eyes in the distance. I focus on my axe, and it appears in my hand. I hold it tight, ready to fight if the moment arises.
There's no need for that yet. We are almost to the entrance.
She puts her hand on my arm, gently pushing my axe down. I still feel wary of the forest, but I follow her lead. The glow from the pendant catches on something up ahead. A bright white marble slab sticks out from the earth. It has elvish runes engraved into it. The princess runs her hands over the runes, and they begin to glow silver. They glow brighter and brighter until the slab begins to shake. Earth falls away, and the slab rises higher into the air, pushed up by a large tunnel. I can see a set of stairs that lead underground, into more darkness. How did you do that?
It's an elvish dungeon. Only an elf can open it.
What did it say? I feel like I'm asking a million questions, but there's so much I don't understand.
It said, only 2 may enter, only 2 may leave.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't really know, but I'm guessing it means we both have to make it out alive. I hope you brought your big boy pants, Esil.
Great. I'm going into a 2-person dungeon with monsters designed for a level 54 elf. I'm toast. We walk down the stairs. Torches light the way. The corridor is tight, not much bigger than the mines. Spiderwebs stretch across the corners of the ceiling. The dull gray stones writhe beneath the dancing flames. At the bottom of the stairs, I receive a notification. Would you like to bind your soul to the Guardian Forest dungeon? Yes or no? I've already agreed to help. I might as well bind here for when I inevitably die. I focus on the yes, and a small dot appears on my map, letting me know where I'm bound. I can see the corridor we just passed, but the rest of the dungeon is a blur. It must be filled in as we journey through.
Are you ready?
Elysia asks. She's replaced her fine linens with battle armor once again. The silver armor has faint green hues that move in the torchlight. Let's do this. As soon as I step past the bind point, a flaming arrow catches me in the chest. Chapter 6. My chest is tight, and I find it hard to move. My vision goes red at the edges, and heat pulsates around the wound where the flaming arrow struck me. My haptic suit is doing a great job of making me feel like shit. I yank the arrow from my chest. The arrowhead is coated in a thick layer of blood. I toss it to the ground just as another darts in my direction. I prepare to block it with my axe, but the air shimmers in front of me, and the arrow comes to an abrupt halt and falls to the ground. I look to my right and see the princess with her arm extended, casting a shield spell where the arrow stopped.
We need to find cover quick,
She orders.
so we can find out what we are dealing with.
I pull a torch from the wall and attempt to cast light into the room. There's a small pillar not too far away. We both dive behind it, while flaming arrows whistle and clatter against the stone floor.
Do you have any ranged weapons?
Elysia asks. I have a rusty spear, but that's about it.
It won't do. Looks like I'll have to take them out from this distance. Do you know any ranged spells?
I don't. I feel like an idiot saying it, but she's the one who invited me along, without so much as a glance at my abilities. Yeah, I can hit hard, but I've only been questing for a day, and here she is taking me into some unknown dungeon. If this ends badly, it is most certainly on her, even if she is a princess.
It's fine. I'm going to shoot an arrow in their direction. If you see a break, run and smash them. Got it?
Got it. Elysia knocks an arrow in her bow and pulls it back. The arrow begins to glow a bright red. Long, fiery tendrils snake out from the arrow and curl around it. She steps around the corner and lets it fly. The cavernous room lights up before me, and I can see 5 skeleton warriors, 2 archers and 3 swordsmen. The arrow lands near one of them and bursts into a ball of fire. One of the skeleton archers runs towards it. The moss and ragged clothes that hang from its bones catch fire, and the cavern is alight once more. Now that I know how many there are, I take off towards them. Their positions show on my map in the bottom corner of my vision. The burning skeleton shoots a flaming arrow at me, and I duck just as it flies past my head. My haptic suit warms around my left ear, letting me know how close the flames were. A bright yellow arrow whizzes past me from behind. It lodges in the ribs of the archer, and electric bolts charge out from skeleton to skeleton with a vicious crack, stunning them momentarily with each bolt. Their health bars drop by a quarter. I use the moment to check their stats. Skeleton Warrior, level 13. These bony warriors are dying for a good fight. Level 13. Out of my league, but not so much that we don't have a chance. The princess could probably handle most of them by herself. I continue my charge towards the archer and use lunging strike. The blackness behind his eyes is dark and sinister. I stun him and bring my axe down hard against his shoulder. His bones clatter into a pile on the floor, and my experience bar shoots up. I don't have time to check for loot. There are still 4 skeletons left. The princess's arrows continue to barrage the skeletons, dropping their health in droves. The other archer collapses into a pile of bones. 3 left. The princess switches to her short sword, and we move in on the last 3 warriors together. She moves with speed and grace, slicing at the skeletons and parrying their blows far faster than I can. I attack hard, but not fast. The vampiric ring the princess gave me raises my HP by a fraction with each hit. If the skeletons were faster, I might be in trouble. In a few short seconds, their crumpled bones lay at our feet. A silver 9 flashes across my vision, letting me know that I've leveled up.
That was good.
She smiles at me.
Here, let me help you.
She says something in Elvish, and then places her hand on the spot where the first arrow hit me. I feel my cheeks go red and wonder if my avatars are as well. My HP begins to recover, and I feel a warm sensation as her hand glows a faint blue. A moment later, I'm fully healed. Thanks. That's a pretty useful ability.
Yeah, how do you not know any spells?
I decided to tell her the truth. I've only been doing this for a day. I never had any money to travel outside the mines until now.
What changed?
I'm not ready to divulge that much information, so I changed the subject. Shouldn't we go clear the next room? We pick up the loot before heading into the next room. I find some bronze armor and a few silvers. Nothing too exciting, but the armor is still better than the rusty breastplate I currently have. I switch them out and prepare for what might be coming next. A few torches hang on the wall of the next room. Something scurries into the darkness, and I briefly see a long, furry leg. Is that what I think it is? I ask the princess. She shudders before responding.
Spiders.
For a moment, I'm lost in my memories. I remember the orphanage. Before I moved into my box, I spent a long time at the orphanage. I don't really know how long. We would spend 8 hours a day logged into the educational worlds of Pangea. They told us that a smarter world was a better world, but in truth, I think it only made us more aware of the lot we had in life. When we'd log out, we would spend the rest of the day working, sewing clothes, cleaning the dirty floors. At night, the spiders would crawl along the walls, their deep red eyes almost glowing in the night. I don't do well with spiders, I say.
Grab a torch. They are terrified of fire.
The princess sends a flaming arrow across the room, and I want to run away. 12 spiders now populate my map.
Esil, they're not real. We can do this.
She puts her hand on my arm, and a little of the fear goes away. I've never had anyone comfort me, but it almost feels familiar. She's right, after all. It's all virtual reality, as much as we might want to believe otherwise. The spiders can't truly hurt me. I pull a torch from the wall. In my other hand, I hold my axe, ready for whatever comes. The princess has her arrow knocked. Flaming red tendrils reach out from the arrow. Something moves in the distance, and she lets the arrow fly. It bursts into flame along its route, sending out fireballs that bounce around the pillars, searching for targets. The arrow impales a large spider some 50 yards away, and its legs curl up in death. Nice shot! She gives me a smirk just before the spiders step out into the light. 11 large, hairy spiders. Their milky white pincers click, and their eyes glow a dull red, reflecting the flames from the torches. I'm so not looking forward to this. They surround us, moving faster and quieter than I thought possible. The princess and I stand back to back. All the while, the clicking grows louder.
I'm going to stun them. Hopefully my lightning arrow will set off a good chain. Then you hack them to pieces. Got it?
She says. Got it. The next thing I know, there's a loud crack of lightning, and I watch as the bolts dart back and forth, stunning each spider in turn. I take off towards the closest one and bring my axe down hard upon its head. Its legs immediately retract, and its eyes gloss over. One down. I'm lucky this is only going to be a melee fight. Just as the thought appears, a large glob of acid erupts from the mouth of the spider to my right. The acid sticks to my arm holding the torch, and I lose all feeling. My arm freezes, and the torch falls to the floor. Princess, I call, but she's in the heat of her own battle, switching between her sword and bow. Several spiders lay crumpled around her. My only option is to fight with one hand. I have no idea how long my arm will be paralyzed. I move in on the spider just as it launches another blob of acid in my direction. This time I duck, and the projectile sticks against the stone wall behind me. I bring my axe down hard, and the spider falls to the ground. Piece of cake. 3 spiders have me surrounded. I need to act fast if I don't want to become their next meal. The click of their pincers makes it hard for me to think. I have enough mana for 2 lunging strikes. I lunge at the closest spider and stun him. While the ability cools down, I attack the next closest and watch his HP drain to 0. I still don't know how I'm hitting so hard, but now's not the time to question it. My haptic suit clinches around my arm, and my vision goes red as the 3rd spider digs its pincers into my one good arm. I jerk free and cast Lunging Strike. The edge of my vision is a dull, flickering red as my HP continues to drop even after the spider's bitten me. The spiders must have a poisonous bite. The first spider's no longer stunned, but I'm able to parry its bite. The sound of its razor-sharp teeth grinding against my axe hurts my ears. I swing hard into its head, and a trail of green blood marks the floor, leaving only one spider left. I don't have time to find the princess, but she must be fine. She's nearly 5 times my level. The last spider arches its back in the air and spits another ball of acid at me. The projectile whizzes by and lands behind me on the floor with a splat. My vision still has hints of red from the poison, but most of my sight is returned. I don't want to risk another bite, so I switch to the rusty spear for the added range. The spider scurries toward me, venom dripping from its teeth. I gather the spear in my hand, finding its balance, and let it fly. It catches the spider in the thorax just as it pounces in my direction. The force of the throw lifts the spider off its feet and carries it across the room. The spear lodges between the bricks of a pillar, and the spider lets out a squeal before its legs curl up in its final embrace. A slow clapping startles me from behind. I turn to see the princess, her hair slightly disheveled, wearing a grin.
Very well done,
She says.
If what you say is true, you've really got a knack for this kind of thing. We should do this more often.
My heart beats a little faster. First, we have to make it out of here. The rest of the way will no doubt get harder as we move along. I show her my arm. Feeling has returned, but the skin is inflamed from the spider's bite. She reaches in her pouch and hands me a vial. A bright blue shimmering liquid swirls inside.
Take this, it will restore your mana. Let me see your arm.
She places her arm on my arm, and it begins to glow as before. The bite marks fade away, and my HP recovers. I examine the vial in my hand. Mana potion. Restores 200 mana over 20 seconds.
You should come well stocked next time.
Hey, I didn't know you were going to bring me to some dungeon. How could I have prepared for that? I thought we were going to talk, and then maybe I'd farm the countryside again. She giggles and pulls her hand away.
You should always be prepared for adventure.
Maybe she's right. It's not like I don't have the money to stay well stocked with supplies now. I'll visit some of the local shops once we make it out of this dungeon. I take the moment while my mana recovers to ask the princess about herself. So, princess, what do you do when you're not out questing with your dwarves?
Please call me Elysia. Save the princess talk for the streams.
She brushes her blonde hair behind her ear.
I'm in school. I want to follow in the family business and become a game developer, like my father.
Wait, your dad is a developer? Should I mention the chest I found? Would he ask questions? Even worse, would he want to take it back? I decide against it.
Yeah, he's worked for them for as long as I can remember. The company really takes care of their...
She stops mid-sentence, obviously remembering where I'm from.
Do you like it there? Working in the mines?
I don't know. Until yesterday, it's the only life I've ever known. Chapter 7. We gather the loot from the room before leaving. Most of the items are repetitive. Several hairy spider legs, venom sacs, a few health potions, which I will undoubtedly need, and a handful of silver. I pick up a torch and use it to light our way out of the room. Another set of stairs leads us down to the next level. I can hear loud grunts before we reach the bottom. Alicia's hand grips me hard on the shoulder, stopping my progress. The voices beneath us echo through the dimly lit stairwell. Whoever they are, they're speaking a guttural language I do not understand.
Goblins,
She whispers in my ear, and my entire body shivers. I wonder how she knows, but then I see she has her hand on her sword hilt. A barely visible glow appears as a fine line where the guard meets the sheath. Elvish blades glow in the presence of goblins.
Be careful as you go. They love to lay traps for unsuspecting visitors.
I slowly step forward and realize my foot is caught on something. Without thinking, I pull hard in an attempt to free my leg. The weight against my foot slackens, and then I hear the whir of wire whipping through the air. The whir continues for a moment, then a loud ringing fills its place. The sound of stone grating against stone comes from the stairs above, and I realize we're trapped. How stupid can I be? I just set off their alarm. Alicia pushes me in the back, urging me forward.
We'll die if we fight here. We need to get out.
The goblins seem momentarily shocked when I step out into the cavernous room. Their large round eyes are fixed on me with each step I take. Tufts of black hair jut out of their oversized pointy ears. Each one is clad in a mixture of ripped rags and dented bronze armor. A few wear jewelry made of bones. Some carry maces, others dull swords that serve better for blunt force than stabbing. Their skin is the same dull gray as the stone walls. One rides upon a grisly gray wolf, the beast's ribcage showing through its matted fur. For a moment, they're silent. The goblin riding the wolf, which I assume is their leader, bangs his mace against his dented shield, and it echoes through the hall. I focus on his stats. Goblin Rider, level 25. This goblin boss attacks with the fierceness of wolf and goblin combined. He is definitely the leader. The other goblins range from 15 to 18. There must be at least 15 of them. There's no way in hell we can take them all out. Even if the princess is level 54, it's just not possible. The room is too small, and I don't have the defenses. The wolf lets out a roar as it pounces across the room. Slobber drips from its gums as they pull back, exposing a long line of sharp teeth. The train of smaller goblins follows in its wake, yelling and clashing their weapons together. What do we do? I ask the princess, because I don't have the faintest clue. She moves past me in a blur.
We run!
She glides across the stone floor, her movements full of grace. I don't understand how we're going to get past the horde of goblins that stand between us and the exit, but I follow nonetheless. One of the goblins is an archer. His arrow cuts through the air, and the princess forces them to a halt with her shield spell. We are mere moments from being trampled when she reaches into her pouch and pulls out a vial as black as the night. She grabs my hand and smashes the vial on the stone floor. The next thing I know, the room is silent and color disappears from the world. Everything I see is another shade of gray. The flames on the torch I carry are different hues of slate and ash. The princess continues to hold my hand. She uses her free hand to press her finger against her lips, signaling me to keep quiet. The goblins in front of us look around in shock. Their mouths move, but no sound comes out. It appears they can't see us. The goblin rider is furious and smashes his mace into a smaller goblin, drawing blood. The smaller goblin attacks the wolf's legs, causing the wolf to toss its rider to the ground. A scuffle breaks out amongst the remaining goblins, and the princess pulls me around them, our backs pressed close to the wall. We make it out of the room into another corridor before she speaks. When she does, color returns to the world. What was that? I ask.
It's called Velvet Night, and it's the rarest item I own. Or owned now, I guess. It's a one-time use item, but I didn't see us making it out of there alive.
She smirks.
I thought I told you to pay attention.
I was, I counter. I just didn't expect a tripwire in a dimly lit dungeon.
What did you think it would be? Did you think it would have a bright yellow icon signaling "Don't step here"?
She laughs. Tell me more about this Velvet Night. What did it do exactly?
It's a beautiful item. It takes the user and up to 2 others to a lower plane of existence for up to 30 seconds. Essentially, it makes you invisible.
And why did you waste it here? There has to be a million other places where you could have used that. I mean, this dungeon is below your level.
Not everything is about level, Esil. I thought you, of all people, would understand that.
We walk down the corridor, the scuffle of the goblins echoing behind us. The hallway turns and leads into stairs that curl downward. I can hear a raspy breathing the closer we get to the bottom. My breath begins to smoke in front of me, and my haptic suit does its best to showcase the cold. This must be the dungeon boss. The princess stops and pulls several vials from her inventory. I recognize the fire whiskey, but not the blue or green bottles.
I think this is it. I suggest you use any buffs you may have been saving.
What do you think is down there? I use my fire whiskey and check my stats. My mana and HP are both full. I put my new stat point into intellect. If anything, I'll need the bonus mana for lunging strike. My current stats are Strength 14, Agility 0, Vitality 2, Intellect 3, Dexterity 0, Stamina 0. With a plus 10 strength from the meteoric axe and 2% bonus from the fire whiskey, I'm hoping I can at least get in a few hits before I die. The princess looks determined. An aura of light surrounds her from whatever buffs she just took.
Whatever we find at the bottom of these stairs, it has been an honor fighting beside you today, Esil.
Her words are touching. I almost wish she was streaming this so that all of her fans would know what she just said. Yesterday, I was nothing, and today, I'm in a secret dungeon with one of the most popular streamers in Pangea. The honor is all mine, princess. I try to be smooth, but my words sound hollow in the cold stairwell. Alicia does her best to conceal the laughter that bubbles on the edge of her lips. When we step into the room, I'm surprised. A frail old elf hunches in the corner. He wears a dark purple cloak that conceals his body and face. The only thing that dictates he's a male is the long gray beard that dangles across his chest. The cloak he wears is made of fine linen and embroidered with gemstones that gleam in the firelight. A few small fires light the room. A podium holds an ancient book in the center of a circle engraved into the floor. Elvish runes run along the circle's edge. Alicia gasps when she reads them. Her gasp startles the old elf. He raises his head, and the space where his eyes should have been are dark, empty sockets that glow. When he steps into the circle, I can see that his eyes have been replaced with gemstones. They shine a bloody red. I focus on the old elf to find out what he is. Elven Lich, level 49. This once great elven wizard bound himself to a dungeon so that he may never meet true death.
Welcome, Esil. I've been waiting a long time for you.
A withering old voice like dried parchment whispers in my ear. I look to the princess, but her eyes are focused on the Lich. Who said that? I ask. The princess turns to me, confused.
Who said what?
You didn't hear that? I ask. She should have been able to hear the voice from where she's standing.
Pay her no mind.
The voice beckons me.
You and I shall leave this place together. Only another elf may take my place. Free me from this crypt, and I will make you stronger and richer beyond your wildest dreams. I have magics you can only dream of. All you have to do is subdue the elf.
The Lich steps to the podium and turns the page of the book. He lifts his arms into the air and begins chanting in a language I don't understand. A ribbon of light floats upward from his hands. An arrow zooms across the room. I think it's going to hit the Lich, but it explodes some 10 feet from his position. The circle in the floor acts as a shield, blocking the princess's attacks. I can make out the shape of a dome surrounding the Lich. Tiny magical veins, almost invisible to the eye, form a barrier between he and us. The Lich's words run through my mind. Riches and power. I know so many others from the orphanage who would betray the princess in a heartbeat. Perhaps she'd betray me if she had the chance. But she's been kind to me, as long as I've known her. I can't betray her trust. He wants me to attack you and take him out of here, I say. She needs to know what he wants if we're going to have a chance.
Only 2 may enter, only 2 may leave. It all makes sense now. He's offering you a dark quest.
Just as she says this, a notification pops across my vision. Congratulations! You have been given a new quest. The Elven Lich has requested your help in escaping the dungeon of the Guardian Forest. Reward: 500 gold and an unholy alliance with the Dark. Do you accept? Yes or no? 500 gold is a lot of money, and an alliance with the Dark. No doubt he'd teach me spells and abilities that could really take my game to the next level. But where's the honor in that? Just because we're in a game doesn't mean I can abandon everything I believe in. What do I have if not my honor? The Lich continues chanting, and the light emanating from his hands grows brighter and denser. After a few seconds, the light disappears. Without warning, a beam of light smashes down from above, rooting me to the ground. A loud boom that makes my ears ring is the only thing I hear before I lose all sense of feeling.
What is she to you?
The voice asks me. It's almost like he's inside my head.
She would betray you in a heartbeat. Join me. Fight for power and darkness.
The words disintegrate inside my mind, littering their dark intentions in my head. The Lich begins chanting again, and this time yellow light slowly rises from his fingers. The princess fires another arrow, and it bounces off the shield surrounding the Lich.
We have to break the shield. It's the only way we can defeat him.
Her legs are still rooted, but she continues to fire arrow after arrow to no effect. How do I free myself?
You have to dodge his attacks. If you do, you can attack the shield. His magic is powerful and has a bonus effect on me because we are two sides of the same race, but it takes time and concentration for him to cast.
His beams continue to charge. Once they are ready to attack, I feel my feet free themselves. His spell has worn off. I jump to the right and do a barrel roll. A beam of light smashes into the ground next to me. I dodged it.
Do not fight it. You will join me or you will die.
The princess is still rooted in place, and now her health has depleted by a quarter. The root must last longer on her because she's quicker and more agile than me. The spells must get stronger with each turn as well, considering the damage she's taking. She continues her barrage of imbued arrows on the shield. I need to break the Lich's shield. I run for the magical shield and begin attacking furiously. My attacks have no effect, and all the while the Lich continues to speak into my mind. The Lich starts casting his next spell, and a lilac beam forms in his hands. It will undoubtedly be stronger than the last. I continue to slash and stab at the shield to no avail. Just as his beams disappear, a small crack appears in the shield. I dive and roll, narrowly dodging the spell that rips apart the stone where I just stood. The princess lets out an agonizing scream. Her health is down to 10%, and she seems barely aware of the situation. She's no longer shooting arrows, but swaying back and forth, still rooted in place. If I don't break the shield soon, she will die. Our eyes meet for a moment. She gives me a knowing look and whispers something in Elvish. A weird sensation flows through my body before a notification runs across my vision. Elysia has cast Resilience upon you. You have increased attack speed for 20 seconds. I don't waste any time before attacking the shield. My axe smashes into the invisible barrier and the crack widens, tiny webs stretching along its surface. I swing harder and faster with each blow. The Lich begins casting another spell. This time the beam is black. It draws in the light from the fires, devouring them and casting the room in shadow. I know that it'll be the end of our quest if it lands on the princess. I am no match for the Lich on my own. I decide to keep attacking and try to break the shield before he kills us both. My stamina bar is low, but my dwarven boots replenish it before it can ever truly deplete. The cracks in the shield grow larger and wider. The black light disappears from the Lich's hands, and I brace myself for the incoming pain. The shield shatters before me, and I fall into the circle. I only have a mere moment before the princess will die. I toss my axe with as much force as I can muster, and it flies across the circle, lodging between the jeweled eyes of the Lich. The beam of black light dissipates into the air above the princess, inches from her head. Her legs unroot, and she falls forward to the ground. The Lich's jeweled eyes fall out of his skull and clatter across the stone floor. Notifications ding, and a silver 10 flashes across my vision. I'll check them all later. I rush over to the princess, and she has a wild smile on her face.
We did it! Well, you did it.
I help her to her feet, and we walk to the Lich's corpse.
Shall we check our spoils?
She asks. Gold is scattered across the floor, along with the spellbook and the 2 jeweled eyes. You take the spellbook, I offer. I have a gut feeling that the spellbook is what she was after to begin with. I'll take the jewels?
Works for me.
She winks. I pick up the items and add them to my inventory. Currency, 500 gold. Item, jeweled Lich eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. Another notification pops across my vision. Congratulations! You've just completed the quest Guardian Forest Dungeon. You now have an increased alliance with the elves. Congratulations! You chose light over darkness. Bonus, 50 gold. That's cool. I never knew you could be awarded based on the moral choices you make in the game. So, what does the spellbook do? I ask.
It's a new spell. I don't think I'm ready to use it yet, but maybe one day it will be useful. Thanks again for helping with this. I have something I want to give you.
She presses her hand on my chest and recites a few words in Elvish. Congratulations! You have learned the ability Resilience. Resilience increases the attack speed of you or an ally for 20 seconds. Cost, 50 mana. 20-second cooldown. That's awesome, thanks! That, combined with my boots, means I can attack like a madman now.
You're welcome, Esil. It's the only ability I'm able to teach others, but it should come in handy for you. I should probably get going, though. We've been here a while, and I have homework for school.
We teleport back to the entrance and leave the dungeon. I sort through my notifications as we walk, and I notice I finally have a message from Buzz. It looks like he's ready to talk. Chapter 8. Buzz waits for me in our private chat room when I leave the Mordican Mountains and return to my home portal. I'm still on cloud 9 from my dungeon quest, and can't wait to tell him all about the past 2 days. It's hard for me to believe that I've done so much in the past couple of days, and Buzz has no idea. Buzz's face pops up in a screen to the left of my vision once I arrive in my home portal. He's wearing his starter rags, the same ones I had until yesterday. He looks tired, and I wonder if the avatar is mimicking his actual facial expressions. His face lights up when he sees me. "Holy shit!" he practically screams. "Where'd you get those clothes? And where have you been? Your status message said you were in the Mordican Mountains, but I know you don't have money to travel. What's going on?" His questions come at a mile a minute. You're not going to believe what happened to me. I spend the next 30 minutes telling him about the developer's chest, the Worldpass, my first day leveling up, Princess Alicia, and the dungeon. Buzz is beside himself with excitement. It's great having a friend who's genuinely happy when something good happens to me. There was one really weird part, I continue. Grayson knew something was up. He gave me this really cryptic advice. I think he may have found a chest a long time ago. Buzz lets out a bellowing laugh. You gotta be kidding me. What are the chances? I remember his message from yesterday, and I'm suddenly ashamed I haven't asked him about his mother. How's your mom? His smile disappears. It's not good. She has a hard time moving, barely eats. They sent out a medical drone to scan her, and that ate up most of our savings. His voice is overcome with emotion, and I wish I was there to give him a pat on the back or a hug. His mom is the only person Buzz has in his life, and she means everything to him. The real shitty part is that there is a cure. We just can't afford it. She has maybe a year before her body shuts down, and there's nothing I can do. That's the problem with being dirt poor. When you barely get by as it is, there's no room for error in life. Maybe I can help. I can help. I have over 1,000 gold. You can take it. Get your mom better. I don't even hesitate to offer the money. Buzz's mom is more important than anything I could ever want to buy. I've never had money, and I'll gladly go back to that if it means getting her the treatment she needs. Buzz's eyes go wide when I mention the amount of gold. Wow, Esil, I don't know what to say. That's very generous. His eyes blink in rapid succession, almost like he's holding back tears. It's not enough, though. The treatment is expensive. How much? I ask. I can go questing every day until I have enough to pay for it. Over 80,000 for the initial treatment, not to mention the medication she'd need for the rest of her life. Shit. It's okay, Buzz. We'll figure something out. You can't just give up. What can I do, Esil? The only thing I can do is go to the mines and work until I die. We are fodder for the system. Deep down, you know it. You know they probably don't even need us to mine data, but it's safer for them to lock the poor neighborhoods away under the pretense of work than it is to let us live on the streets. On the streets, we might realize how unfair everything is. I've never heard Buzz sound so defeated. He's always the guy with a smile on his face and a laugh in his belly. I need to find a way to cheer my friend up. Hey, Buzz, do you think you could spare a little time to go traveling with me? What do you mean? He asks. I've got more money than I know what to do with right now. If it's not enough to help your mom, then maybe I can buy you a day pass and we can go visit one of your favorite worlds. A smile starts at the edge of his lips, and I think I might have cheered him up just a bit. Let's do it. Let's go to SteamWorld. You are now entering SteamWorld. SteamWorld is an alternate future game world where steam-powered technology rules the world. This is a non-magic-based world. All magical components have been disabled upon entering SteamWorld. The portal drops us on a bustling city street that reminds me of photos of Victorian England I studied in school. Steam billows into the air from 100 different sources. Whistles and the hiss of steam play across the airwaves. Everyone that passes by looks so formal. The men wear three-piece suits and top hats. Monocles with tiny gears and multicolored lenses adorn many faces. The women wear corseted dresses that push their bosoms up to their chins. Man, oh man, I've died and gone to heaven. says Buzz as he ogles a woman in a purple dress. She has a red heart tattooed on her breast and a hefty supply of cleavage. She gives Buzz a wink as she passes by. The streets are made of a dense inlay of bricks. A carriage pulled by mechanical horses parts the crowd. Tiny steam-powered mechanical insects flutter in the air near my head. I swat at one, and the whole lot takes off. A bicycle with a large front tire and small rear tire zooms past me, narrowly avoiding my foot. The rider removes his hat and bows in apology, leaving a trail of steam in his wake. Many of the people I watch wear jetpacks on their backs. Some have pipes that wind around their bodies. A street performer draws a crowd while he displays some sort of weapon. Fire erupts from the end of his hands in a large stream propelled by the pack strapped to his back. Where do you want to go? I ask Buzz. I paid for him to come here, and I want him to have his fill. Personally, I much prefer the fantasy worlds, but there is a certain elegance to this place. Can we just walk around and explore? It's so crazy to finally experience something that's not a smoke-covered mine. I can never thank you enough for taking me here, Esil. It's nothing. I got lucky. It's the least I can do to share some of the fun with my best friend. I give Buzz a squeeze on the shoulder. Hopefully, I can make him forget about his troubles for a little while. How about we get you out of those rags? You don't have to do that. I know, but I want to. Let's find a tailor. The tailor is tucked away between a weapons shop and a medicine shop. The weapons shop showcases a myriad of revolvers and rifles. There are more gear shifts, scopes, and types of bullets than I could have imagined. Silver and wooden bullets. One claims to explode into flame upon impact. A special section marked ray guns catches my eye before I see a dark gray werewolf sitting behind the counter. He wears a top hat and long coat. The tails of the coat hang low and his fur protrudes from the sleeves next to his razor-like claws. We step into the tailor's shop and Buzz's eyes go wide. His short, buzzed black hair draws attention to the childlike wonder on his face. He sorts through rack after rack of clothing, piling up a large wardrobe he intends to try on. In the end, Buzz looks more dapper than I have ever seen him. He chooses a pair of black and red pinstriped pants, a white shirt with a red vest, a bow tie, a pair of goggles with brass fittings, a belt full of pouches, leather bracers with a half-dozen buckles, and a black, long coat. He looks like a completely different person from the man I work with in the mines every day. He stands in front of the mirror for a moment, admiring himself. When I step up beside him, I realize that I also look completely different in my green tunic and khaki pants. It's crazy how much can change in just a few short days. I pay for the clothing, which sets me back 9 gold, and we return to the street. Far above us, a large zeppelin floats through the air. A banner hangs beneath it, advertising Portuguese Emporium of Oddities and Eccentricities. I know what I want to do, says Buzz. He grins from ear to ear. I want to play Steamball. What the heck is Steamball? I ask. Oh, it's only the most popular game in all of SteamWorld. I swear, Esil, sometimes I think your nose is so far up those elf butts that you forget the rest of the world exists. Shut up, Buzz. I give him a gentle push in the side. Lead the way. I follow Buzz down the crowded street. He knows where he's going and walks with purpose. I'm sure he's watched streamers walk through here a million times in his box late at night before falling asleep. When we arrive at the arena, the stands are full. We have to put our names on the player list and wait for an open pitch. I use the time to learn as much about the game as I can. Buzz is more than happy to fill me in. Do you remember how before the Great War people used to play a game called soccer? They called it the world's game. Basically, the goal was to kick a ball into your opponent's goal. That's kind of how Steamball works, except the goals are 300 feet in the air, and everyone wears steam-powered jetpacks to fly around the pitch. That's it? It seems like a simple concept. Yeah, if you score more goals than the other team, you win. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the other team can attack you. What do you mean, attack? Just like it sounds. If they're able to wound you, then it makes it easier for them to score. It's a bloody sport at times, and if they kill you, then you have to wait 15 seconds to respawn, making the odds in their favor. Most games are 5-on-5, but sometimes they'll go bigger or smaller for certain events. I watch the nearest game as it unfolds above us. 10 players zoom around, leaving trails of steam propelled by the packs they have strapped to their backs. A rather large man wears a pack with 3 canisters instead of 2. He bobs along, and I wonder if the packs have a finite amount of energy. Beside him, a wiry woman speeds by, carrying a brown leather ball. She has it tucked under one arm and fires a pistol with the other. A line of smoke erupts from the gun every time she fires, and green lasers dart through the air. 2 gnomes accompany her, one on each side. They must be her escort, because one carries a large cannon that booms like thunder with each shot, and the other carries a sword with a gun built into the blade. The 2 gnomes wear large goggles that magnify their eyes tenfold. They look like large bugs fluttering through the air. One of their opponents, a woman in a tight green corset, fires a rifle, and the light beam that erupts from it knocks the ball from the wiry woman's hands. The ball tumbles through the air towards the ground. Out of nowhere, a long hand swoops in and grabs the ball. The fat man that had been puttering along is still far away, but his hand is attached to his arm by a long, retractable mechanism. He presses a button on his wrist, and the hand and ball rapidly return to him. He tosses the ball to one of the gnomes and continues puttering along. I'm completely immersed in the game when Buzz grabs me hard on the shoulder. "We're up next," he says. I follow Buzz over to a booth that rents jetpacks. There are over a dozen to choose from. Some offer faster top speed, and others great acceleration or the ability to change direction quicker. I see the one with the triple canisters designed for those of more portly variety. Buzz and I both pick the Steam Pack 2000, which Buzz says is the best all-around pack. Item: Steam Pack 2000. Requirements: stamina. Do we need ranged weapons for this? I ask. Everyone I've seen so far has carried a gun. You don't need them, but they are definitely helpful in keeping the other team off your back. He shrugs, content to play the game even if he doesn't have all the pieces. Not today. Come on, Buzz. If we're doing this right. His eyes light up when we walk over to the portable weapons shop. The weapons are housed in the back of a carriage. Dozens of firearms adorn the walls. Buzz immediately picks up a shotgun with a dragon etched down the side named Fire Breather. The stock is made of dragon bone. Esil? It shoots fireballs, Buzz says as he cradles the gun like a newborn child. It shoots fireballs! The price tag is 10 gold. I don't know if it's more for the design or the firepower, but I don't question it. I don't care if I blow every gold I have today, as long as Buzz has a good time. I settle for a ray gun with a rotating barrel. It shoots ray beams out of one barrel and a grappling hook out of the other. It might be useful in snagging down enemies. It costs 6 gold. I remember my barter skill and decide to test it out. Do I get a discount if I bundle these all together? I ask the shopkeeper. He rubs his chin for a moment before responding. I'll knock off 1 gold because I like your spunk, he says. Congratulations! You've added +1 to barter. A man who can trade can own the world. Nice. I equip my new weapon to my inventory and check the stats. Item: the grappler. Ray gun. +7 strength. Ability: grapple. Fires a grappling hook and attaches to the first object it hits. 30-second cooldown. You'll not get away that easy, bucko. Once our weapons are equipped, we take the pitch. I activate my steam pack and slowly rise into the air. The basic speed doesn't use any stamina, but any time I speed up, my stamina bar drops a little. 3 other players join us as we continue to rise to the 2 goals placed high in the sky. 2 women and a tall, lanky man are in conversation, talking about some quest they failed to complete. Hello, I say. What's the plan? It's our first time. Great. Just great, says the man. He's wearing purple pinstriped pants and a green vest. 2 revolvers with glass orbs attached to the hammer are strapped to his waist. A blue gas swirls inside the orbs.
Be nice, Jace,
One of the women says.
We were all new once.
Her corset is pulled tight, exposing her large chest. I take a glimpse, but Buzz has no such tactfulness and stares openly. She gives him a wild smile before turning back to me.
Don't mind him. He's a little salty he failed this quest. Just have fun. Try and score, and me and my sister here will do our best to defend the net.
What's your weapon? I ask.
You'll see soon enough.
She winks. Her sister whispers something in her ear. They both giggle for a minute, and Jace rolls his eyes. What's this jerk's problem? Buzz asks me. It's not like this is ranked or anything. I don't know. Let's just have some fun. A timer begins to count down in the center of my vision, and the other team approaches from across the pitch. They look like a well-oiled machine with their matching outfits. 5 men in brown and blue pinstriped suits fly toward us. 2 carry revolvers, 1 has a rifle, 1 has a long sniper rifle, and the other a shotgun. All of their weapons are ornately engraved and appear to be ray guns from the glass orbs attached to them. I look behind me and see the woman and her sister holding 2 large cannons that hang by straps from their shoulders. Electricity reaches out like tiny tendrils inside the large glass orbs attached to each. They must be packing some serious firepower. The timer reaches 0, and a brown leather ball falls from above. Buzz and 2 of our opponents rush towards the ball before I realize I should be joining. Buzz flies forward like a maniac, laughing hysterically and firing his new weapon. Fireballs the size of my fist fly through the pitch like spilled marbles. I focus, and everyone's status bars appear over their heads. Our opponents are all named Mr. Wiggles, each with a different number, 1 through 5. 1 and 2 carry revolvers, 3 has a rifle, 4 is the sniper, and 5 has the shotgun. The 2 women on our team are Hilda and Zelda. Zelda has the heart tattoo. Jace passes me by and fires his weapon just as Mr. Wiggles 1 picks up the ball. Blue lasers shoot out of his gun in quick succession, narrowly missing the man with the ball. Buzz continues to fly around the pitch, sending out a never-ending chain of fireballs. I wonder if the weapon uses mana or if the fireballs count as bullets. Either way, it doesn't appear to be stopping. I dodge a fireball at the last second and feel the heat across my face. I'm amazed at the sensation my haptic suit is able to provide. It feels like I'm actually in the air as I float across the sky. Mr. Wiggles 1 passes me by and I aim my gun. The purple ray it fires hits him in the shoulder. His health drops by half and the ball falls from his hand. His teammates close in pursuit of the ball, except for the man with the shotgun who stays back to guard the goal. A deafening boom stops me in my tracks, and I see a giant ball of light floating across the pitch. It grows larger and faster the more it moves. I stand back, completely immersed in the orb that exits Zelda's cannon. The 3 Mr. Wiggles dive for the ball, oblivious to the orb approaching them. Mr. Wiggles 2 catches the ball and raises it in the air, just as the light swallows him whole. When the orb passes through him, all that's left is the ball, once again falling towards the ground. The other 2 attempt to fly away, but the growing orb pulls them towards it like it has its own gravitational pull. Seconds later, they disappear into the light before it dissipates.
"We've got 15 seconds to score,"
yells Jace.
"Come on, noobs!"
He picks up the ball, and the 2 remaining Wiggles retreat in defense. Jace fires off a few shots and fakes a dive. When he goes, our opponents move to block his movement. He tosses the ball over his shoulder to me, and I catch it just as I ramp up my speed. I go high and see Buzz waiting by the goal. He stopped firing his weapon and waves his hand for me to pass him the ball. I throw it hard and the ball hits him right in the hands. They are completely caught off guard, and Buzz tosses the ball into the goal. 1-0 flashes across my vision and then minimizes in the top left corner along with a timer on the game. Mr. Wiggles 1 respawns just as the ball reappears. He's the first one on it. He fires a shot that hits me in the shoulder. My vision goes red and my health is at 50%. He flies past me and another shot hits me in the back, this time from the sniper. I can barely breathe as my haptic suit clenches around my midsection. My health is down to 10%. I need to take cover fast. All the leveling I've done the past 2 days hasn't helped with my defenses much. I focus on the opposing team and see that they're all level 20. No wonder they damage so much. Buzz is lucky he hasn't been shot yet. The sisters set off another loud boom when they fire their weapon. This time 2 giant balls of light soar across the sky, but now our opponents are ready for them and give them a wide berth. Mr. Wiggles 1 does a barrel roll, dodging the long, slender beams of Jace's ray gun. I push the speed of my jetpack and my stamina bar drops quickly. He's about to score unless I stop him. I activate grapple and fire the hook. It catches Mr. Wiggles 1 in the back and brings him to a halt, but not before he tosses the ball into the goal. 1-1 flashes across my vision. Jace flies up behind the goal scorer and empties several shots into the back of his head as he struggles to remove my grapple. The body disappears and we have a momentary advantage. I retract my grappling hook and turn to where the ball will drop. Just as I do, A bright purple ray hits me in the face.